Hey Hot Wheels fans, this will be my first video review of a Hot Wheels. It's actually the first Hot Wheels I've bought since 2003. I'm an adult, so I don't really buy these sort of things too often, but I just got into collecting these 1/64 scale cars. But this is the last Hot Wheels I bought just to see what, Hot Wheels are doing. So this is from 2003. Pretty cool. It's a Suzuki GSXR engined concept car. But the reason why I bought this McLaren Speedtail is I got the hypercar set. There's a video on this whole collection a few back. And so I saw this at a shop. It was dirt cheap. And I figured I'd just see what's going on now. It's been many years. And we'll see about the quality. And I just want to also, as usual, learn a little bit about this car. I generally just buy cars that look cool. And then I use that as an excuse to actually learn about them. So this McLaren Speedtail came out in 2020, and they're around $2 million, more than that probably though in reality. And they had 109 production quantity quoted out, and they're all sold out already. So there's a 4-liter twin turbo V8 back here, and it's also a hybrid powertrain. The electric motor produces 300 plus horsepower. So in total, this thing's making over 1,000 horsepower, and it's been I guess clocked at 250 miles per hour, so it's quite a fast car. The only thing that's holding all these hypercars back are the tires. The tires are what give out at that kind of speed. So I was also curious, in general, I know Hot Wheels might not be to scale. I'm quite positive this is not to scale because a GSXR engine isn't that big. So, and obviously, I mean, look at that. It's just giant. So, I look up the dimensions of this car. It's 5137 millimeters, and supposedly in real life, it'd be nice if it got close to it. So, I am getting almost 60 millimeters, 59.2. So, I'm going to multiply 59.2 by 64. And so that's 3788. Is that right? That doesn't, oh, I'm a moron. I didn't zero out my caliper, so I apologize. Let's do that one more time. So now I'm getting 76.2. Okay, so 76.2 times 64. I'm getting around 4,900 or so. So it's a little bit short. It's not exactly to scale. I mean, but even a millimeter off would be off by more than 2 inches in the real world, so I guess it's close enough. When I compare it to this hypercar here from Granny and Partners, at least it's longer. It's longer than that die cast, so that's good. I guess in the real world, some articles are comparing this, to this P1, and it's supposed to be around 20 inches longer with the Speedtail, so it's good enough, I guess. I mean, for a few dollars, I think it looks pretty good already. I can see here. You can look at the panel lines; they're quite nice. Pretty crisp. One thing I like about these Hot Wheels is they don't try to have these opening panels and ruin the body appearance. Just solid body. I'm perfectly good with that. No painted headlights, but I think that's to be expected because look how thin they are. Yeah, there's no way you're going to get paint in there. I think I'm going to try to customize this a little later. I'm going to probably print out some 3D wheels because I despise these axles. That's mainly the reason why I don't buy Hot Wheels. I just don't like looking at these axle ends. It's just not realistic. It totally destroys it. But again, for the price point, I totally understand what Hot Wheels is doing. I mean, these are meant for kids. They're meant for kids to roll around and on those racetracks. No, I wouldn't say they're really meant for adults to collect, although obviously you guys are doing so, and that's perfectly fine if it makes you happy. Alright, so a little bit more information I found on this car. It has electronic glass, so there's no sun visors. It just uses electricity to black out the glass. It's rolling on 20-inch fronts, 21-inch rears, so I got to take that, measure these wheels before I 3D print new ones. And then this carbon fiber has a titanium deposit on it. So a really small layer of titanium on the carbon fiber itself. So that's interesting. Now, one thing I couldn't find out online is the drag coefficient. The McLaren website and a lot of articles are all boasting about the drag reduction, but they don't actually state the CD, and I suppose they said that because there are different ways to measure the coefficient of drag. Oh well. So that's those are the statistics I found out about the car. So let's talk about the diecast here. I'm sure there's about 600 million other video reviews of this car, but I chose to not watch them because I don't want to be influenced by other reviewers. I just want to go into this and see what my initial impressions are. If you watch my other videos, I really care about paint, and this paint is awesome. This paint is fantastic, actually. So I just don't know what's going on with the more expensive car brands. They can't get their paint process down. But I don't see any flaws. I don't see any gouges in the casting before it was painted. It's really quite nice. If I was really nitpicking right there, that's the gouge. But, this car is so inexpensive. I totally accept that. There are some indications of the two rear ailerons, the two flaps that can actually fold up to adjust the drag or downforce, so that's pretty nice. This is, I believe, the two intakes for the engine. Very good. Alright. Little detail there. This little thing is supposed to be the extendable rear view cameras that pop out when you're driving. And, well, there's a little, obviously, indentation going in for the vent, so that's pretty good. And I didn't even know that they're printing the badges on these cars, Hot Wheels. So that's really good. I mean, it says McLaren. This little red stripe is supposed to be the third brake light, from what I understand. What's going on in the back here? Very thin red strips here for the tail lights. Try to focus here. There we go. And you can see the printing on the back as well. What does it say? Special? Speedtail, duh. Yeah. It's hard to see on the camera because it's so dark. But I managed to actually see it with the naked eye. But I can't even focus on this thing properly. There we go. Alright, so now I can see it on the camera screen. Speedtail. So wow, I am very impressed with Hot Wheels. I was kind of wondering in the back of my head as I collect all these Kyoshos and other, I guess, mini GT and more expensive cars. And I wondered why people are so all into Hot Wheels and stuff. But now I fully understand. I mean, these are really inexpensive, and this is really nice. The only thing that's killing it are these wheel axles. The wheels aren't even necessarily bad. They look similar to the actual pictures of the real car. It's just these axles. But again, they're meant to be rolled. They're meant to be played with, so I guess it's good. I haven't looked at the bottom of a new Hot Wheels either in a while. So we got the model, who it's made by. It doesn't say what year it was made. Oh no, it does, 2019, so my bad. Some other production coding or something. Wow, I'm really impressed. And then what's going on underneath here? Diffuser. I think these are where the exhausts come out. These little these depressions here. Okay. All right, so I think I'm gonna design some wheels for this thing, and then I'll hack this apart, and we'll see if it looks any better. So I'm gonna leave it right here, and we'll compare it later. Ta-da! And here we are. So it took a while for me to get these prints correct. I actually had to print them a couple different times to get the tolerances down and make sure the details looked acceptable. Actually, I even printed this at a low resolution, 0.5 microns, which is why you might see a little jaggedness to the spokes. But comparing to the Hot Wheels original wheels, it seems like Hot Wheels looked at the prototype of the car and modeled their front wheel after that prototype wheel cover. But the production road car has this totally different shape going on. The rear is a much better interpretation in the back, but they're just flat spokes, whereas the production car has like these canted fan blade type of spokes. And I also went ahead and added some brake rotors, and the orange brake calipers are painted back there. It doesn't, I guess it could roll, but I pretty much glued these in place because those are stationary on the real car. Okay, so you know, to take it apart, I simply drilled it apart. There's some Elmer's school glue holding this thing together right now. But I went with a black Sharpie marker and filled those in. And once I fill it in with a Sharpie, I wipe it off with my hands in a Q-tip to get all the excess off. And so it works pretty well. You know, I put some in here in the front vents. Maybe I could do a better job there. But the front lights. So I think if you guys have this model, you know, get a black Sharpie or some paint and just wipe it off afterwards. And you can get a pretty decent, you know, fake vent, fake light kind of depressions in your model. There's also some there as well. So that's pretty much it. I pretty much talked about this car beforehand, and I think now I just have a better looking version because I hate the exposed axles. It's just not realistic. But I think with some 3D printed wheels, I think it looks much more realistic. It looks more like the production car. I'm sure some of you guys might be interested in me buying these wheels, so I went and put them up on shapeways.com. You can just do a search for like Hot Wheels McLaren Speedtail, and they should pop up. Okay then, we'll see you around. Bye.